My boss thought I was faking being sick until he visited me in the hospital. I was only 3 months into my dream job when weird things started happening. First, my hands would shake so bad I couldn't type. Then I started getting dizzy spells at my desk. I tried to push through it, but one day I completely blacked out in the middle of a meeting. My coworkers had to catch me before I hit the floor. I woke up to everyone staring at me with worried faces. My boss wasn't happy. He kept hinting that maybe the job was too stressful for me and I should consider something else. The way he looked at me during meetings made my stomach turn. That weekend, I ended up in the ER. The doctors were baffled. My organs were starting to fail, but they couldn't figure out why. The monitors kept beeping with warning signals. Monday morning, my boss called. My mom answered since I could barely speak. Instead of making excuses, she simply invited him to visit me in the ICU. He showed up that afternoon. The moment he saw me, hooked up to machines, 30 pounds lighter, barely conscious, his face went white. He stammered an apology that brought tears to my eyes. The next day, HR called. They'd approved unlimited sick leave and would hold my position. My boss even organized a meal train for my family. My coworkers brought homemade soup every week. Turns out I had a rare autoimmune disease. It took 3 months to recover, but my job was waiting. My boss never questioned a sick day again. Sometimes people need to see to believe, but once they do, it changes everything.
Parents, what is your I looked away for 1 second story? My 6-year-old daughter Lily was having her first solo playdate with Emma, this sweet, quiet girl from her class. Emma's mom seemed really nice when she dropped her off around 2 p.m. Mentioned how Emma was always the most well-behaved kid in class, never caused any trouble at home. The girls went straight upstairs to Lily's room. I could hear them chatting and giggling through the ceiling while I worked on laundry downstairs. Around 2:30, I decided to bring them some snacks. I could hear them whispering intensely about something. What are you girls up to? I asked, peeking in. Just playing dollies, Mommy. We're just playing, but I noticed Emma looked different somehow. Is everything okay in here? I asked, stepping closer. Both girls nodded way too enthusiastically. Yeah. Everything's good, Lily said, practically pushing me toward the door. Around 3 p.m., I heard what sounded like muffled crying. When I called upstairs to check, Lily immediately yelled back, "We're okay! Emma's just sad about the movie." Then I heard running water, lots of it. But Lily's bathroom doesn't connect to her bedroom. I was starting to get genuinely concerned. I considered going back up, but Emma's mom wasn't picking her up until 4, and I didn't want to ruin their playdate. At 3:15, I heard a loud thud from upstairs, followed by complete silence. "Girls?" I called out. "We're good," Lily yelled back immediately. Too immediately. At 3:30, my neighbor texted me, "Is everything okay? I saw Emma's mom drive by your house 3 times in the last hour." That was weird. Emma's mom wasn't supposed to pick her up until 4. I looked out the window, and sure enough, there was Emma's car parked across the street. She was just sitting there, watching my house. When I waved, she quickly drove off. At 3:45, I called up to give them the 15-minute warning. Dead silence. When the doorbell rang at exactly 4 p.m., I headed upstairs. "Girls, Emma's mom is here." That's when I first noticed the smell. It was sharp and chemical-like. I figured maybe they'd gotten into my makeup bag or nail supplies. No big deal. Kids experiment with that stuff. I knocked on Lily's door. "Come on out, girls. Time to go." Wait, Mommy," Lily called back, and I could hear frantic movement inside the room. I was starting to feel genuinely alarmed. "Girls, open this door, please." Emma's mom was downstairs waiting, probably wondering what was taking so long. I tried the door handle and found it locked. Lily had never locked her bedroom door before in her entire life. "Lily, unlock this door right now." Finally, I heard the lock click. The door opened just a crack, and Lily peeked out with this strange, guilty smile that made my stomach drop. "Hi, Mommy," she said in this overly cheerful voice. "We're playing hair salon, like the pretty ladies." The chemical smell hit me like a physical wall. I pushed the door open fully and stepped inside the room. Emma was sitting completely motionless in the corner, her back against the wall. Her beautiful waist-length blonde curls, the ones her mom had been so proud of, were completely gone. Not cut with scissors, but dissolved. Patches of her scalp were bright red and already starting to blister. Empty bottles of industrial-strength hair removal cream were scattered around her like crime scene evidence. But she wasn't crying anymore. She wasn't moving at all. She was just staring straight ahead with this blank, traumatized expression, like her brain couldn't process what had been done to her. That's when I saw the chemical burns forming on her face where the hair remover had dripped down. We spent 6 hours in the ER. Emma needed skin grafts. Her mom sued us for $50,000 and won.
My best friend has autism, and people always thought he was weird, but he taught me what true friendship really means. When we were in college, everyone avoided him because he never made eye contact and would only talk about space. They called him Robot Rick because he spoke in a monotone voice and didn't understand jokes. He would spend hours explaining black holes to anyone who'd listen. One day, I got really sick with the flu. Most of my regular friends stopped texting after saying get well soon. But Rick, he showed up at my door every single day for 2 weeks straight at 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. He had made a spreadsheet of the exact times to give me medicine, including backup options if I couldn't keep the first dose down. He brought soup he learned to make from YouTube tutorials, watching each video until perfect. When I was too weak to reach for water, he set up a system with straws and measured how much I was drinking. He didn't understand why people hug when they're sad, but he Googled how to comfort sick people and followed the instructions perfectly. That's when I realized he might not feel emotions the same way, but he cares more deeply than anyone I know. Today, Rick's a successful NASA engineer. At my wedding last month, he gave a speech that he practiced 147 times to get perfect. People cried happy tears when he said, "I don't naturally understand emotions, but I understand that my best friend needs me to be here today, so I learned how to give the perfect speech." Some people still call him weird, but to me, he's the most genuine friend anyone could ask for. What everyday skill becomes suspicious if if you're too good at it. I can pick any lock in under 30 seconds. And before you ask, no, I'm not a burglar. It started when I was 8. My little brother had this habit of locking himself in the bathroom during his tantrums. Mom would panic, Dad would threaten to break down the door, and I'd grab a bobby pin. My parents thought it was cute. Our little locksmith, they'd joke when I'd free-trapped cats from closets or unlock my sister's diary for her when she forgot the combination. By high school, I was the go-to person for locker emergencies. Teachers would actually call me to help when students forgot their combinations. Mrs. Peterson once had me unlock her classroom when she locked her keys inside during parent conferences. The janitor watched in amazement as I worked my magic in 15 seconds. During homecoming week, some seniors pranked the underclassmen by zip-tying their lockers shut. While other kids waited hours for bolt cutters, I freed 12 lockers in 10 minutes using nothing but a paperclip. The principal shook her head, half impressed, half concerned. College changed everything. My roommate Jake locked his keys in his dorm room during finals week. He was freaking out about missing his exam, tears streaming down his face, talking about how this would ruin his scholarship. I had him back inside in 20 seconds flat. Word spread like wildfire. Soon, random students were texting me at midnight for help with stuck doors, forgotten combinations, even handcuffs from someone's weird party prank. I became campus legend, the lock whisperer. Sarah from my chemistry class got locked out of her car during a thunderstorm. I had her door open before campus security could arrive. Mark accidentally locked his bike to a post with his keys inside the lock. Even the RA called me when the emergency exit door mechanism jammed during a fire drill. Each time, people watched with this mixture of awe and unease. The questions started getting weirder. Have you ever broken into anything? Could you get into the administration building? What about safes? I laughed it off, but something felt different in how people looked at me, like they were seeing a criminal instead of someone just trying to help. The breaking point came when Professor Williams locked herself out of her office right before a major exam. Students were lined up in the hallway, panicking about the delayed test. I offered to help, and within seconds, her door clicked open. Instead of relief, her face went pale. How did you do that so fast? She stepped back like I'd threatened her. That lock was supposed to be high security. Everything changed last month when I was walking past the campus bookstore. The manager was standing outside, looking frustrated. Customers gathering behind her. Stupid lock jammed again, she muttered. Maintenance won't be here for hours. All these people need their textbooks. Without thinking, I offered to help. The crowd watched as I knelt down, worked my paperclip magic. 30 seconds later, the door swung open. Everyone cheered. As the door swung open, I realized this wasn't the main bookstore entrance. Behind it was a small office filled with security monitors showing every corner of campus. The manager quickly stepped in front of the screens. He stared at me with this strange expression, not gratitude, but something closer to fear. The next day, campus security knocked on my door. Apparently, someone had broken into 3 different buildings that week: the computer lab, the student records office, and the chemistry storage room. The bookstore manager had mentioned a student who was suspiciously good with locks. I spent 2 hours explaining my childhood hobby while they searched my room for stolen property. They treated me like a master criminal instead of someone who just wanted to help people.